Hope you all have a very good weekend. We'll start the session with blessing of Pitama Brahmashri Patriji and Dr. GK sir, and deep gratitude to ma'am who coming and sharing her wisdom with us. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Same deep thanks to you all for bearing with me since all these days.
No, it's very
and
nice.
Further going on. Yeah.
Learning a lot.
Ma'am, our platform become popular all around because of you only. The Arpitha ma'am sessions are going on where PMC Australia. Thank you for being here, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Today we are going to talk on soul mastery. Soul mastery is understanding our both sides, just polarities. One is the unresolved one is the resolved one. Okay, we all have a two-part within ourselves. One is a resolved one is an unresolved one, right? So what is resolved, what is unresolved, we might not know consciously, but there are steps of series where we can know with some kind of reflections. We can know where we have to work on. Now, basically, we all know that we are immortal beings, right? When we understood that we are that spark of light before all this flesh and everything got created. Now we have, for what was that reason for us to create ourselves into this form, human form, right? So for this also we have already understood the relationships part, we have done the life lessons and themes, right? So there is a theme every time. Why we chose the theme? That is how the creation and the expansion goes together. It is the intelligence of creation which keeps creating, and that's how it goes on expanding. It is the intelligence, that's how it works. It is not like we have chosen something or intellectually we have thought something, we have created something, we wanted to learn something. Nothing to do with that. It is only the intelligence of that creation itself. It's a working system of it. If we ask why in a vehicle, if you put petrol or diesel only that works, there cannot be any answer. That's how the system is made. So the intelligence of the creation, the system of it is made to create. So hence the creation is going on, and the creation is happening. Of what creation is happening? It is that intelligence which is being created in various forms, so that the expansion further can be made and the upgradation is happening, right? So in this, what is happening? We are developing, we are expressing our creative abilities, right? Whatever the creation we have, whatever creativity we hold inside, whatever the intelligence which want to express itself, we are able to do that through this form, right? And now, before we understand the true nature, we have to ground ourselves, right? Before we understand, unless we ground ourselves, it is very difficult for us to even know what is our nature. We might not know. We might think consciously, we might think I'm this kind of a person, my nature is this, my nature is not this. We might consciously, we might say, but actually from where this ideology of nature has come, the ideology of nature has come from, since our childhood we have been listening that so and so person is like this. Since our childhood, maybe we were dancing well, or we were a good singer, or something, some ability we have been expressing. Based on that, our elders, our friends, our neighbors, or anybody, whomever we are associating with, they might have told us that, you know, this person is, nature is like this. And we picked up all that and we started believing this is my nature, right? But actually, what is the nature? Nature is of what is self, without this core belief systems, without this metaphors, without these archetypes, without anything, any kind of conditioning, what we are. That is the nature. So if we have to understand the essence of that nature, we have to ground ourselves. And now what is, by grounding, what does that mean? We mean, what is that? We keep listening to this word of be grounded, be grounded. We keep hearing a number of times. Even I might have told a number of times in our all these days of series, you need to be grounded. What is grounding? Grounding is, it is you are firmly there in the present moment with the environment, at the present environment. Okay, right now I'm sharing something, you are receiving something, we are completely here and nowhere else. So this is grounding. Okay, being in that moment only. Other than that moment, we are not thinking anything else. So this is grounding means. Right. Generally, we think grounding means, what is grounding? Oh, I have to take care of my family. I have to be with my family. I have to be here. I have to be there. I need to do this work. If I'm going to office, I need to handle both material and spiritual. There are so many influences and thought process we have. But grounding means you are there only. If we are watching our breath, we are watching our breath only. We are not doing anything else. If we are cooking, we are cooking only. We are not doing anything else. That is grounding means. Okay. So this we have to understand. And spiritual growth does not mean you are withdrawing everything from our environment and, completely going into some Himalaya, sitting there. Oh, I'm done. This is what spiritual world means. I'm cut off. I don't have any connections or any reflections, nothing. I'm sitting in Himalayas and I'm being there. No. Spiritual growth is, from the day one we know what is spirit. Spirit is nothing but the force. And what is that force? That force might be very rude also. It might be very compassionate also. Now it is our process, understanding of the nature within, we know how to guide that spirit. There must be a soul in our spirit, right? Soul is the purpose. There must be a purpose in our, however our actions are being performed. Without purpose, what is the purpose behind cooking, or what is the purpose behind going to office and signing the ledger every day? There is a purpose. It's not like just we are doing it for the sake of doing it. There is a purpose behind, right? If that purpose is not fulfilled, then what's the point in doing any action, right? So this is what spiritual growth is. You are doing every action knowing its purpose, knowing where this action is going to lead to. That is what the proper spiritual growth, expansion of the spirit happens, right? When you are aware of it and when you are okay with it, right? So the most common area where we avoid in life generally is our own inner self. We avoid ourselves. We are so busy in life in either learning something or knowing something or doing something, buying something or expanding something. We are always somewhere or the other, but we are missing. Everything is inside that inner self, the core issues, which has the core issues where we have avoided, has created an external mask so that we are introducing ourselves to the world, not with the original face, but with the mask, right? It's like, the onion. The root is never visible. It is only the layers which are visible. How much ever you cut, it is only the layers. Unless you remove all the layers, the center root is not visible. That is the core essence of ourselves. And that is avoided all the time because we have been conditioned since our childhood in a belief of everything is perfect and you are supposed to be perfect. This is good, this is not good, this is bad, this is wrong, this is right. You are supposed to be like this. If you are a wife, you are supposed to be like this. If you are a husband, you are supposed to be like this. If you are grandparents, you are supposed to be like this. If you are grandchildren, you are supposed to be like this. There's so much of conditioning on the name of being good. There's so much of conditioning has happened, and we started believing that this conditioning is the true self, but that is actually the mask. And in this, when you are mastering yourself, it helps us as you process going more deeper. It is not only helping us to understand our true nature, it is also helping us to understand the core issues. It is when you understand the core issues. I'll give you an example. There was a lady who never had a happy childhood, nor ever had any happy married life. Okay, life went on. She never realized. Life went on. She said, okay, maybe something, I don't know. And she never faced anything. Even husband is talking very politely, very compassionately. She says, okay, oh, so what? How do I react? She has forgotten reaction of love. Okay, how to react with all the love, all the sympathy. She never knew that. And everyone, after a certain period of time in the spiritual path and all these lectures and everything, she has come to an understand, maybe it is some my past life karma. So it is not, I'm somewhere not happy with life. Okay, and she has come to an understanding with this kind of very rude kind of parenting with my parents, and not very the kind of ideal relationship I have with my husband. So obviously that's the reason I am not happy in life. And that went on in her life. I'm not happy. So in one of the session, I started doing breath work. First session, second session, third session, nothing was coming up. She was breathing. Actually, she was learning how to breathe. So sessions happened. At the fourth session or fifth session, she just connected to a moment where there she was a small baby, just born baby, and besides was another baby who was dead with no life. And connecting to that, she connected to the sadness of her life. Then she realized, she's a twin person. Okay, there was another twin along with her at the time of birth, but she was at the birth moment only, she vacated the body, the other child. So she carried that sadness. So all her life, that imprints were going on, and felt that I'm not lovable. Because parents always said, oh, that child was there, both would have been happy, both would have been nice. This also kept up. It is not because somebody has told something. Why this lady has attracted only these kind of sympathy kind of statements? Because she connected to the sadness there. Suddenly the just born newborn child has connected to only sadness in life. So she thought the first impression went was from the birth. That is what birth trauma we talked about. The moment you are born, the feeling which is coming is life is all about sadness. It is only after so many years, where even now grandchildren are also there, now she connected to that moment. Now she could realize what kind of life I've created for my children. Other than sadness, I couldn't give anything. So my children understand only sadness in life. They have never tasted what is happiness, because I never expressed that. Okay, this realization has brought a tremendous amount of change. Said that's over now. That's over. It's my childhood story, and it is okay. It can happen to anyone. It is not purposefully happened. Okay. Now, when you are, if okay, it was in a session and there was a guidance and properly happening, and she could continuously release everything, and now suddenly out of blue, everything has changed. Suddenly, children are very happy. Suddenly, children's relationship with their partners are becoming very cool and calm. Suddenly, everything is happening. She never shared her experiences to everyone, but everything is changing. Now she is able to understand when husband is also partner is also coming and talking to her very nicely. She is able to understand. Okay, I'm coming out of it. She's able to relate that. She's able to see that compassion around her. Right now, we because of those kind of unconscious unresolved core issues, we carry we carry so many situations around us, basically on three things. One is undeservability, unlovability, and approval seeking. These are the three things. These are the self-sabotaging patterns which we come across, which we create within ourselves. Now, these patterns are the result of our influences from the past. It could be from the birth moment or from the moment where we have understood the parent's life. Maybe our parents have not gone through a very good, happy atmosphere as a child. We got influenced unknowingly somewhere. We got influenced and we carried those memories inside us. So every memory we hold inside us has to be manifested. It has to get manifested. Right. When this is manifesting, then so many things are coming up. Okay, this all this undeservability is coming up. So first, when we talk about undeservability, this when a person is holding this as a core issue, as a deep rooted issue, then they feel they do not deserve good things in life. Even if anyone is trying to give a proper gift or anything, they'll feel, no, no, I don't need any gift. Why do I need gift? Why this person is giving me gift? What is this person wanting from me? Why so much of expensive gift? So much of mind game happens. Okay, they are stopping themselves from receiving anything, because receiving means they feel I'm unworthy, so I'm not supposed to receive anything. Okay, even if anyone all their life, because of undeservability as a core issue, all their life they're longing for something, but when the whatever they are longing, whatever they need, when those things come to us, they do not know how to receive it, because this feeling of undeservability is stopping them, right? And now when we talk about unlovability is also much more similar to undeservability. It is like, it is a deep rooted belief that they are never loved. It comes with low self esteem, self worth, shame, humiliation, all these things, and lot of guilt holding inside. When you hold shame and humiliation within, then there will be a guilt also carried, and you are feeling unlovable. There is a low self worth. There is all these things coming in, and to cover all this, you are becoming arrogant. A person, an individual, is becoming arrogant. Oh, it's okay. I don't need anyone to love me. I know how to love myself, because self love has been heard a number of times by now. Okay, because of that awareness grown, so I can love myself. Okay, I don't need anybody to cook for me. I can celebrate my birthday. I can be with myself. All these things, being with myself. And it is like they come to a situation like they begin to blame others also and themselves also. Okay, they blame themselves for not being good enough, and they blame others for not loving enough. Okay, because sometimes our knowledge becomes the biggest barrier, where it is said that without self it is impossible to understand what we are. Okay, but after a point, the self itself becomes the biggest barrier to go beyond the what we are. Okay, so self is, you have to know yourself. What is self, from where it is coming, everything is there. But the real self, understanding the self, is where you see every person as your own aspect. That is what self realization is. The self which is there inside is there everywhere, right? That's how it is. So blaming, whenever you are by being aware of your thoughts, or by practicing little bit of awareness, these things can be resolved. You have to be aware. At a point, I feel, other than being awareness, living with awareness, we have no other option. Because one moment of not being aware, we are actually piling up many things, and we do not know which one is going to get carry forward to the next generation. Okay, and now after undeservability and unlovability, now comes the point of approval seeking. Approval seeking is people with this as a very core issue. They do anything to impress anyone in this world. If they want to impress, they keep on exaggerating. If, say, suppose if a teacher said, oh, this particular student is very good, very good in drawing, or coming very punctual to the school, and sits very decently in the class, all these things. Now if that individual has approval seeking, every day they will continue to do that, because they want to listen again and again, I'm perfect, I'm perfect, I'm perfect. Because somewhere they have a feeling, probably I'm not perfect. It is stemming from this core issue of powerlessness. Powerlessness is where with this they do not trust their own abilities. That is the reason they don't have the confidence that I'm doing perfect or I'm being there. So they keep on asking, did I do right? Is it the right way? Have I done perfectly? Okay, they always want something or other. And now the basic fears, all emotions can be, mostly whatever emotions we have, there are only two types. One is love based or one is fear based. Other than these two, we have no other emotions. Either emotion is coming from love based or it is coming from the fear based. And fear makes us go away from our completion within, from the source within, right? The mula, right? What we call. So we have to transform this. It is not that we can work on fear-based emotions and we can get rid of them or we can nullify them. It is not like that. We have to transform this fear-based energy into love-based emotions. Fear into love. We have to transform it. And now the first fear we always come across is self-depreciation. Okay. Everything is got a polarity. If this is what, if there is white, then there is black also. Okay, because it is the white is shown outside, we will feel, oh, everything is white, everything is light, everything bright, wonderful. But the other side, we are not able to see it. Only when we see from above as a big picture, we are able to see both the sides, and we come across the balance. That's when the balance happens. Now, self-depreciation is something where you feel inadequate. You feel like I'm unworthy. Okay, like for example, if a person has invited his friends for lunch, for dinner or lunch, he keeps telling, I'm sorry, my house is not big enough. He continues to say the same thing. Okay, it is like your self-depreciation is you are making yourself very low all the time. Okay, instead that it is like, you are telling all the time, I'm sorry, I could not make better arrangements. I know a person, whenever he comes down the lift, if anyone is waiting outside the lift, he will say, oh, I'm so sorry I kept you waiting. So why did you get waiting? You were getting up and I have to come out. That's all. We are just using the lift. But for everything he has to say sorry. In entire day, I think we hear more than 60 to 70 times sorry from him. Okay, there's a self-depreciation personality, we get around. Okay, always saying that. So the positive pole for this is you are humble. One way it is showing that you are very humble and you are being very soft-spoken and openness. But the negative side is you are putting yourself down. Right? So you can always say, hope I could make you all comfortable in my house. So this shows the humbleness also. You're not putting yourself down also, and you're not getting into that issue of fear of self-depreciation. Right? So there is two sides in both the things. In the same self-depreciation, there's a positive side also and there's a negative side also. Words make much difference. It is vocabulary leads to success. Mostly the successful people, whomever we see, you should listen to their vocabulary, how they use. I keep watching, I was watching what movie? Some English movie, I don't remember. And that it was so, the words were framed so perfectly. A guy has come to a girl in a store asking, oh, you're looking excellent, gorgeous. Can I have your number? And she said, oh my God, I'm afraid I cannot give it. It's so politely it is being put, not just being saying just simply no and being very arrogant. It was perfectly put. This where we know that you are not feeling inferiority and you are actually replacing it with humility. Right? And now when another fear comes in the self-sabotaging or fear-based emotions, after self-depreciation, it comes the arrogance. Arrogance is the fear of being judged. Somebody might judge me. Somebody might reject me. Somebody might, you have when you are arrogant, you are even feeling fearful for even intimacy. You have a fear of being inferior. All these are like, they often want to look perfect and flawless all the time. Sometimes we might have caught ourselves in many moments that I want my house, everything looking very perfect. This pillow here, in this sofa here, this namak here, dal here, everything is perfect. We don't want to change anything. It is why we want to do this. It is because we are scared of being judged. We don't want somebody else to say that you are wrong, you are not perfect. So we try our level best to be very perfect all the time, right? Negative pole is you're being superiority, you're being very snobbery, and your judgmental nature. All these things are coming up. But the positive side of this arrogance is your perspective on achievements, how to achieve things. You're determined, and your self-esteem is well balanced, you're self-assured, right? You're independent, right? We have to just see if we are projecting ourselves through any vocabulary, any word. We have to just understand what is the word I'm using and what is the emotion behind that word which is coming up. Because people are not going to react to our words, they are going to react to our emotions which we hold behind every word. So the emotion has to be perfect. If you want to scold anyone, okay, you want to literally scold anyone, you want to literally fire anyone, don't hold any emotion within inside. And now you say, they will not even mind. They take it very politely and very positively. They'll understand exactly what you're saying perfectly. If you are holding some vengeance or something very hard, or so much inside, which is not very comfortable, or even any very comfortable feeling also inside, but outwardly you are using the words which are not matching to that emotion, they catch that emotion. Holding so much of anger inside for a person, and you say, oh, how are you wonderful, the person caught you. See, this person is trying to do all drama. She's just speaking to me outwardly, but inside some anger is there. She was not very comfortable. We just come out of this. And the same with ourselves also. When we hold some kind of judgmental nature, or some kind of opinion about somebody or something, when we meet people, however they react, we perceive it also in a different way, right? So this, when you are using the positive pole, individuals are becoming more stronger, and they are shedding their judgmental nature, right? You're being very independent, self-assured, self-respect. All these things are very balanced, self-esteem. All these things are happening. And now the third one is self-destruction. First one is self-depreciation, second one is arrogance, and the third one is self-destruction. Self-destruction is fearing that you might believe that life is not worth living, so you want to destroy yourself. You're choosing all kind of situations where it will lead to it will motivate you to destroy, okay, physically or emotionally or anything. Before even coming to this point, like if I go to the past generation. In the past generation, if parents have not dealt with their own emotions, maybe their childhood emotions or anything, mostly everything comes from childhood only. So every entire life issues are related to childhood somewhere. So childhood issues, whatever, they have not healed, and as life went on and they carried forward and they didn't know how to work on it, they are simply transferring these unresolved issues to the next generation. And now next generation is holding that feeling of self destruction. Life is not worth it. Life is never worth it. This is not the way you are supposed to live. This is not what life is. Or they might become daredevils, very sometimes alcoholic, drug addicts, or even they come into this kind of categories where physically or emotionally they are destroying themselves all the time, right? The positive side is the person is very surrendering, very sacrificing. All these things are there. But do we really understand what sacrifice means? Sometimes a person, I know a person, since childhood, that particular person has never got any love or compassion from the parents. Now as she grew, she has attracted a lifestyle where the partner is also, in spite of partner loving so much, she is not able to understand because the receiving was not there, right? And now she developed a feeling, okay, it's okay, let everyone be happy. If I am not happy, where does it matter? It is okay, I will sacrifice my happiness. They put this kind of face. But we have to understand, it is good to sacrifice. If you are thinking this way, it is very good, it's a positive thought. You want to keep everyone happy. That's the reason every woman of the house and even the man of the house thinks, for giving all the facility to the family, one is working hard or one is doing a particular job. This we don't even think that it is sacrifice. We think it's our responsibility because it is out of love, right? So if you are thinking, okay, let you all be happy in house, you be very happy, I'll get out of the house, it's only me you don't like. If all this funda is coming, then definitely there is a point of self destruction. The negative pole is self sabotage, suicidal nature, ruthlessness to ourselves. Okay, all these things are there. You have to sometimes, this quality of people have attract a situation where they clear all the unresolved issues of the previous n generations, maybe 7, 3, 4, maybe many generations. They clear every aspect of their generations. They have this kind, because self destruction has got this strong positive side into this. But if you realize, if you understand what self is, if you have that awareness, if you have that wisdom of what self is all about, then happily you will do it, because you know what is it. Okay, if not, it's just a negative polarity. And now the fourth one comes as a greed. Greed is always the fear of not having enough. They have, like, they're hungry look all the time. I want me first, me first, me first, all this kind of quality they come. And like they're always in a feeling of, I don't have enough. Where do I have? Maybe the wardrobe is filled with all new clothes, but again the point comes, where do I have? I do not have. Okay, positive side of this greed is good appetite, allowing abundance. All these things are there. It is like seeking fulfillment. It is all there. But the negative side is eternal dissatisfaction. Okay, poverty consciousness, and being more money hungry all the time, focusing on that. This we have to understand. It is like, which way are this quality is going up. If there is this quality, if a courageous person, if any person is feeling very fearful of anything, that means they hold some courage inside. Depending on the level of intensity of the fear, the same intensity of courage also might be there. But we have to bring out that courage out, so that this fear is resolved, or just kept aside, right? And next is victimization. Martyrdom is completely about victimization, where a person is being victimized all the time, trapped into the situations. Okay, these are the people who suffer from this victim consciousness. Are they often look overburdened. They often look, oh my god, so much work I am doing, this much work I have to do, and end of the day for what? Okay, all these things. Positive side of this is selflessness. It's okay. Pressurizing ourselves that we are doing so much. It's okay. If you're doing, it's okay. Do it out of love. The positive side is, it's okay. It's just one thought which is coming up. If we feel it's okay, I am just putting myself, I'm not looking at myself now. I'm looking at me, my work, and my moving on. It's okay. Okay, if we are thinking negative side, like if we are thinking, oh my god, I'm being pressurized, I'm being victimized, people are putting so much pressure on me, I have to do everything, I'm the one who is doing everything, all this feeling, then you are going on a wrong track of life. Okay, and the sixth one is impatience. Impatience is, it is the fear that we might miss out something in life. Impatience is all about that. Whenever we feel that we are missing out something, then we feel impatient about it, not having enough time. There's always, in a running hurry. The fast birth process, in the birth trauma, what we understood in the fast birth, time and tide waits for nothing. I have to finish. I don't have patience. But the positive side of thing is impatient people are more accepting because they don't have time. They accept everything in a minute and then move on. But the negative side of this, the other side of this is intolerance, judgmental nature, and frustration. Okay, all these things. Once the impatient is transformed everywhere in all these things, once it is that particular quality is transformed into love based and a positive pole, then everything is perfect. Everything is going on very wonderful way. And now the seventh one is stubbornness. Stubbornness is which is arriving from the fear of change itself. Fear of giving up one's position. Ammo, I don't want change. Oh, let everything, however it happening, let it happen. I don't want change. It is stubborn quality. Stubborn quality. It is easy to identify even their body language. They are stubborn people. They are like, they have a set kind of job. No, that's it. They're like, don't mess with me, look. All these things with there. But the positive side of is they're determined. They're fixed on one purpose. They know how they're doing it. But the negative side is you're being very rigid. You're not being flexible. If you're not being flexible, then you have to understand my stubbornness is going from the ego issue, from the rigid way. Okay, it has to be in a positive way. So every situation can come up as some or the other way we can transform. Every aspect has, every fear has a positive side. Everything like this 7 things what we have talked about: self-depreciation, arrogance, stubbornness, impatience, right, and victim consciousness. All these things what we talked about, everything has got a positive side also and negative side also. Now where we want to be, we know if this quality is there in me, now I might be behaving this way also, and I might be holding thoughts of this side, this kind also, which I need to more move on, focus on more. Where I want, what I want, I focusing only on that. If I hold sadness inside me, my focus will be only on sadness, and you will end up attracting more sadness only. But if you hold sadness inside and still you are focusing on the brighter side, happy, pleasurable things, you are actually welcoming all the pleasure things inside you into your life. Okay, maybe we do not know many things where we have to heal ourselves, where we have to complete ourselves, where we have to resolve ourselves. Maybe consciously we might not know, but where we are focusing, whatever you focus on, that becomes your reality. So we have to focus on what? The light-based issues, the positive side, the empowering side. You can change the vocabulary also by using the perfect vocabulary. Generally, we have a point like when we say okay for everything. Like I have a habit of saying okay for everything, but the better word for this would be perfect. If I say perfect more, so I'm emphasizing on being more brighter, right? How we are using the vocabulary makes all the difference. So all this thing, victim consciousness, greed, and self-depreciation, and self-destruction, arrogance, all these qualities, they have the other darker side also, they have a brighter side also. Every emotion we hold, there is a message. We have to just connect to that message and understand why is that I'm feeling now. If you're feeling sad, for what I'm feeling sad? You don't have to ask why, but you can ask, for what am I feeling sad? What is that I want? Okay, if this is what I want, then what was my presentation? Oh, I wanted everyone to be very happy with me, very respectful with me, but they are not being very loving or respectful towards me. That's the reason I'm sad. Okay, you are sad because other person is not respecting you. Aren't then you ask your question, aren't you sad for yourself not being respectful to you? Okay, are you respecting yourself? Whatever you want, focus only on that. I want respect, I am there for myself. If I cannot be something for myself, we can't really expect that somebody else to be something for ourselves. Okay, these things have to be understood. This is how you actually master yourself. You really master the spirit and very purposefully you guide your own spirit towards a bright direction. Okay. Yeah, this little today is a very small topic. Yes. If anyone wants to share anything or any doubts.
Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, Neha.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So,
We can't
ma'am,
hear you very clear, ma'am.
oh, can you hear me now? Is it okay?
Yeah, better, not better. Yes.
So I have a question. I understand like how you explain the all the different polarities, or like how all the individuals can be, or will be, or they chose to be, or like, or they are what they divided into these many categories. So my question is like there is a positive and a negative within every character. You have said there is nothing which is perfect. Then what are we trying to achieve here? Like, so
Completion.
Okay.
Completion. Accepting both so that we know how to present ourselves.
So
You
if
don't
you're
have to,
accepting
you're
both,
not aiming. Yeah. Yeah, tell
if
me.
you're accepting both, that means there is a still negative part of us, right? Like, how are we?
Okay.
If we accept the negative part, then I'll be like, okay, I have
I'll
positive,
tell
I
you.
have
That's why,
negative, I accept.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give that example. I told about this before also. You have to be authentic with yourself. Okay. Say, for example, I'm an egoistic person. Okay. I'm a very egoistic person. If I'm being straightforward and accepting that as my negative side, I'm very clear to everyone. See, I'm very egoistic person, so don't mess with me. But if I'm really accepting it, I will say to myself, I'm already an egoistic person. So let me not hurt anyone. Let the ego part in me not hurt anyone. So let me be polite. This is what accepting means. Accepting does not mean you are right. You are writing off with a tick mark for everything. You are knowing it so that you know how to present yourself. Okay.
So, yeah, so that means the person knows that he's the most egoistic person. And so when somebody he hurts their ego, then instead of,
He will not
giving a,
feel
like a
sad.
rad or
He will definitely
uh,
not feel sad.
he'll just
If
ignore
an
it.
egoistic person's ego is hurt, he will
Uh,
definitely not feel sad if he is authentic about knowing awareness of his own ego-ness.
okay, so that means, is he killing the, okay, maybe I need to work on it, but I understand that he's not feeling sad, but does that mean, okay,
Can I say something,
maybe I'll
Snehaji?
wait.
I
Yes,
just
yes.
want to share something. Before, let's say if I have a fight with my husband or argument with my husband, I would just say that, oh, it's your fault, certain thing. But it's something like that happened. He says something and I straight away I can identify it. Oh, my ego is hurt. It's not he says something, it's hurting me. It's straight away I can recognize it's my ego being hurt, so I can resolve the things very quickly. Before I was to this point, said something wrong, your fault, say sorry. But then now I feel like, okay, straight away recognize it, resolve it. Why I'm feeling that bad? Because he attacked me as an attack on my ego. So that's I live that example, which I'm trying to say. So most of the time when I recognize that part, then yes, the issue's been resolved quickly.
Okay.
Being honest and being authentic, there's a difference. If you are honest, you are there, you are saying the truth. But if you are authentic, you know what truth means to you. You're
So
aware of that.
okay, so that means you won't react to it, to accept that part of quality within you, where you are at peace.
Yeah, maybe some
It won't
When I
bother you
go to a
genuine
anymore.
thing.
shop,
Sometimes we're just
sometimes when I
saying a
go to a
genuine
shop,
stuff.
yeah, I'll
Sorry,
just
ma'am.
finish this.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
I
sure.
go to say, suppose I went to a market, okay,
Hmm.
there suddenly, one person looks at me and says, oh, you are that person, I keep hearing your classes and all. If they say anything, I will feel little good, obviously. I'll feel good. And again, okay, after that, I speak to him for a little and then I get back to my shopping. Okay, it's all okay. I'm feeling good. I know I'm feeling good. Okay, and I'm getting back to my shopping and I'm simply, doing my bargaining thing with the sabzi wala, this, and I'm on my routine. If I feel, oh my God, this person has identified me, now I'm not supposed to do this work. Okay, the other person is thinking me very big. Now I'm not supposed to do
I,
this. Now I have to go back home. This is like you are not flexible. You are not accepting the way you are. That makes a difference.
okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Namita ji, you were saying something.
No, I was just saying the same, almost same thing. Just to identify yourself, then make a correction straight away. Yeah. And I find like in a lot of scenarios, like as you said, somebody that becomes like every time trying to impress everyone, and then I used to do that, but now I certainly said to myself, when I'm trying, I caught myself doing that. I said to myself, you don't have to do it. It's okay not to be all the time making everyone happy. It's not all my, it's okay. You do what you can do, but you need to stop where you can't do. So yeah, don't do this because you want to please someone and make everyone say, oh, she's perfect. I can be imperfect. Sometimes I don't feel like doing housework. That's fine.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was just trying to prove them a point I can do. If somebody comes to home and then I just make sure everything seems less perfect and everything. Now, sometimes I just sit down as well. And I feel like, just sit down. I'm entitled to rest.
If you don't want to work and if somebody says, you are such a lazy person, you don't want to work anything, you just say, yeah, I know. Okay, fine. Please carry on. Anyhow, you have understood I'm lazy. So don't ask me to do anything now.
Yeah. Instead
No,
of saying I've done so much, so now you only recognize me when I'm sitting down in the sofa.
If you are getting into this trap,
Yeah. Then you
down,
are
ho
looping
gaya.
it in. Okay. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Namita ji. Thank you,
no
ma'am.
worries.
Yeah,
Shivani
Shivani
ji?
ji.
My question is around approval seeking because I sometimes, like, this is the problem in you and you have identified it and you're trying to work on it, but it hurts. For myself, I know I'm good at so many things. Consciously, I know that I'm good at things, not because I feel myself that I have done this thing right, or I have got compliments that you have done this thing good. So this is fine that I know, but then why I just like some few days back I had a fight with my husband. Like, I did something and he didn't even notice. I got upset. Like, you didn't even notice, I'm doing this. So how to fight that internal fight with yourself? You have this, maybe this is approval seeking coming, and then you're good at things, but then how to fight against it? How to make it better?
Yeah. You can ask a question to yourself. I've done this, and the most important person of my life has not noticed it. Okay. Now ask yourself, am I feeling sad? Yes, I'm feeling sad. How important it for me for this person to identify what I did? Is it really so important? Even if he has identified, what would have happened? I could have felt happy,
Yeah.
right? I could have felt happy, right? And how long would that happiness be there? Again, next time when you do something, right? And he has forgotten. First he has recognized and next he has not recognized. So I'm going to be sad again. So every time I'm doing something and I'm expecting this person should appreciate or acknowledge it, am I not making myself dependent?
Yeah.
My emotions, my inner emotions are dependent on other person actions. How healthy is this for me? You can as well
So
say, I did this, okay, to relax this, because you already have this kind of wisdom inside you, okay.
yeah.
So we already had. You can just say, tell him, I somehow, because of the wife in me, I went into expectation with all the authenticity. Just words will not work here, okay. With all the authenticity, as the role I'm playing as a wife, I expected that you could have acknowledged me. I could have felt little good, and then move on. Don't hold on to it.
Ma'am, my question is, I don't care what he says, what he doesn't say. What I need to say myself at that point to make myself happy. That's the
It's
question.
okay. It is even the other person appreciating, and you are giving that statement of it's okay if you could have appreciated. Okay. That also deals your own question. Do you acknowledge what you did or not? That's it.
Ma'am.
There
Ma'am,
is no
again,
inner query at all. If see, there are only two things. If you really don't care whether the other person is acknowledging or not acknowledging, then there is no inner conflict. You did the
yeah,
work and you moved on. If there is an inner conflict, then there is an expectation. So deal with that
yeah.
expectation. It is okay. You can have an expectation, but you deal with it very softly.
Ma'am, this is my husband. Yes, I can say that. Sometimes it can happen with other people as well, like, outsiders, that you cannot be that open. You have done everything for them and then they don't acknowledge. So that's why I'm asking how to, talk to ourselves at that time so that
Look
it
into
doesn't hurt.
that arrogance part. Look in that arrogance part. Arrogance is the negative side of arrogance is you want to feel superior. You want in that part, if that gets heard, you want to be judgmental. But the positive side of is you are self-assured, you're independent. Now
Yeah,
where you want to be, you choose. Be there.
yeah,
You continue being there, you will automatically get habituated of being there only, and nothing works. The other side is diffused. I don't say resolved, it is diffused. Doesn't matter.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I also have a similar question. Like, I am getting validation from all the relationships, but it's just that I'm stuck in one relationship. I'm doing my role play to the best, but why is my mind, earning for validation from one particular relationship, and that has become my pattern. I doesn't happen. I resent it. I try to be vocal about it. It doesn't happen, and then then my mind says, at least this should have been there. So I just want to come out of it.
Approval seeking.
From
Just now
one
I talked
particular.
about approval seeking. You need to encourage yourself. You don't need encouragement from outside. You have come to live your life. You have come to deal your emotions. You have come to put straight your thoughts. And there is nobody else outside. In relationships, we have already done. Other person is just an image, an idea in our minds. That's all. It is all here. This moment you want to change, you can change. You just have to want it.
Ma'am, why do I want that thing is not going from me. Why do I want to be emotionally rewarded?
Yeah, because that is how you attuned yourself with that. Now you want to continue with that, or you want to come out of it. It's your choice. What is that great deal it is doing to you by being there? Other than pain, it's nothing. So you are giving so much pain to you. Just some person has done something, okay, is aware of it, not aware of it is a different thing. But it is like a person, a monk. There's a story. A monk is supposed to abide by the rules of not speaking to any female. But out of a course where he has to travel somewhere, a female comes and asks for his help and asks, put me to the other shore because I can't walk. It's water is very dense. I can't walk. So he lifts her up and takes her and drops her into the other shore and he moves. But the guy who is along with the monk continuously holding that lady in the mind. And he says, this person has done wrong. This person has done wrong. We are not supposed to speak to females. Our systems are not like that. But he continues to say that. He is not bothering. He is not even bothered. And he continues to say, you are not even bothered. Even the master is not bothered. I have complained to master. Nobody is bothered. But this person has carried the woman. It is wrong. It is wrong. He kept on saying. Master said only one thing. That person picked up the woman. He dropped her there and forgotten her. But you have been carrying the woman since so many days now. Then who is more wrong then now? Okay, just apply that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, nice story.
Yeah. Yes, Tanuja ji.
Hi, ma'am. After listening to the whole class of today, basically, generally we come up with expectations from husband, from in-laws, especially after getting married in particular. So, like small little things like after cooking a good dish, I'll be waiting like, why my husband is not appreciating after eating this? Again, from in-laws also, after doing all this, they never appreciate like for one thing, never like generally it comes in mind like triggers. So
you know how I dealt this issue in my life. Whenever I cooked, I loved eating. And I always said, wow, what happened? This dish is excellent. I don't know about you. I loved it. After listening 2-3 times, they started saying, yeah, it's really good. It's wonderful.
Okay.
What I am making, it is my effort. I should like it first.
Oh, yes.
It is my effort. It is not their effort. It is my effort. I did all the effort. I put all the effort in making that recipe so good and so wonderful. If I am not liking it, why am I looking at somebody else? Okay. I love it. And now they are used to. Even if any recipe I don't like for myself, they say, oh, wow, it is very excellent. Okay, then eat.
Okay.
Yeah, I say sometimes that too. They said, oh, that's very nice. So really, it's nice? Better than this, but today is not a better
So
one.
that was a good strategy to get the other person to appreciate you finally, eventually. And that was a good strategy.
It is like, it is your effort, right? If you are not able to appreciate your own effort, then we can't really expect somebody else to appreciate it. Okay, let me appreciate my effort first. I'm excellent. That's it.
You know how some people say you can't blow your own horns, like you can't blow your own drums or something. But I think sometimes
I'm not playing my own drum. I myself am drum. Why should I even play? When I myself am a drum, the music will be on.
Yeah, you have to create your own music, and then other people will start enjoying with you. Yes.
I'm creating my music. That's all. I'm not interested whether the other person is really feeling happy or feeling enjoying it or not. Am I enjoying or not? If anyone wants to join, I'll throw a party. I will start dancing. If anyone wants to join, they will join. If not, it's okay. I'm dancing.
Good idea. So this has resolved so many thoughts which come up in us generally. Thank you.
Yeah, it actually it involves into yourself to actually be happy internally by yourself. So it's all of teaching yourself to love yourself and self happiness, and self assurance. So it gives you a lot of security within yourself, and then you don't feel the need of, like, an external person to authenticate or to appreciate or prove your things. So you're self contented. That is a good virtue.
And who is this external person? That external person is also a reflection of my own things.
Yeah, reflection of, like, there are people who are attached to you
My
because
own
you're
other
attached to them.
polarity, which is not appreciating, which is looking somewhere there. I am not appreciating.
But eventually your in-laws and your husband started to appreciate you. So it's like you're creating the ripple effect as well. So you're doing something. Yeah, you're
Yes,
creating
yes,
the ripple effect.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vanita ji.
Hello, ma'am. So my question is a little bit different from this one. Um, as you were telling about all those like negative things and negative part of ourselves, I identify with lot of it, like self deprivation, or it is like seeking for approval, or a bit of arrogance I can see in myself. So is it like it's I can. And another thing which was you were telling earlier, like you can have your, when you look up at your family, like if family history is there, you know and I could now relate a lot of things, like I can see how my father used to behave, how was my family environment. Then when I go back, I can see like my father has seen some environment at his home as well. Why he behaved in a certain manner is because how my grandfather was behaving. So he has improved, obviously, but I can see I'm carrying same things in myself as well. Like my husband, I see like my father in him. Like at many points, I see like how my father used to behave. He's behaving the similar manner. They share the same alphabet, like initial words. So even when I talk to my mother, they say, like, okay, he's behaving the same way your father behaves. So there are many characteristics. Is it because I think like I have something like I'm carrying from family or from my father, like how he used to be. I'm thinking in that manner. Is it like because maybe he's not doing the same thing, but my mind is going to the same thing because I have seen that.
Yes. Basically, every girl marries a father and every boy marries a mother. This is how it is. Because the only man, the first man we knew is father, and the first woman we knew is the mother. So the impression of a man and woman is just like this. Some things what we don't like in them, we do it opposite way. Some things what we like, we do in the same way. Right? And we look at the same aspects there. Okay. So if everything is going on fine and very positive, it doesn't matter. Okay. It's absolutely doesn't matter. It's okay. Fine. Sometimes, same quality people might come into the same place because we have made that image so strong in ourselves. So we are attracting the same person. Right. Now, this is how the masculine inside you is. If further any change happens in your thought process as a feminine, the masculine also will change. You might not like at that point of time. The same qualities which you've been liking, you might not like at all. Not because the other person has changed. It is because you have changed.
Okay. And the qualities, they generally the quality which are matching are the one which I don't like. So the things I was not like liking in my father, or it's similar thing I find in him. So that becomes annoying as well at some point. Like you are behaving, and he used to tell me, every girl want a husband like his father, but you are saying the opposite. I don't want those qualities which are there in your father. And I said, like, these are the things like I have seen the struggle, and I know like he has taken some wrong, steps in his life or wrong decision. I don't want to end up the same, like have the same thing. So that's why I just consciously I tell him like, okay, don't behave like this. And but I can change myself. That's why like I came into these
Yes.
sessions so that I can
Remove your
change
father
myself.
from your system.
Yes.
Remove
Yes, so
him
that I can
completely
change.
from your system. This personality is a new personality. Okay, propose him fresh, start fresh. Okay, now know him fresh with an open mind. If anything you see again, oh, it's like my father, that means, oh, he's still in my mind. No.
And like in last sessions we discussed about the money and all those things. So it's I'm actually getting onto that path. You said okay, it's like leave it. Even if you are doing something for the others, leave it. That's like do it without even thinking about it, or don't carry it basically. But it's hard to tell him like do this way, and he will keep on discussing that. It's same in the environment, and then again it comes into my mind, why we are doing it, why we are doing it. So I try to remove that thought from my mind, but the thought is there in his mind. So we have a family discussion, and how I can make him understand, or like let it be, let it go. So how I can like take him along with me.
First, make yourself understand and teach yourself. What you want to do with others, do it for yourself first. That is more important. We are not here to guide others or teach others or anything. We are here to refresh and reform ourselves. If there is anything in other person we are not liking, that means we have to clear up within ourselves that aspect. If you feel, if you still hold the point of I'm doing so much, I'm working hard, and somebody else is feeling, leading a very happy life, then first question, who asked myself, ask yourself, who asked you to work hard? Okay. You can also be in India, be one among them, and be continue there. What made you to go across those oceans and be there, be very far, do so much, and give an imprint of I'm doing for somebody else? You went there for you wanted a lifestyle, you wanted something else pulled you, you went in. For that, you are actually compensating by giving something so that they don't feel jealous about your lifestyle. Okay, go deep, go very deep. Okay, now it is not about them, it is about yourself. I'm happy wherever I am. I'm happy to extend my happiness through any form of resources to my family. Because this is what I chose from deep within. This situation has not been put as a pressure. I chose. No one can pressurize you for anything. You chose. You chose this. It is not because I had to choose because the other person wanted it. Nothing like that. If other person says stand naked, you will do that. You will not do that. You will say no. Just like that. There is something inside us is making us to do a particular thing because we want it. You have to just work on that. It's okay. Anybody can be anyway. It's okay. But it's okay. We can change ourselves also. We are not changing ourselves. We are reframing ourselves. That's all. We have understood ourselves in this way. Now we have to understand in another way, which is more brighter and more adaptive and more expansive. That's it. Small child, the minute immediately he go into the school, he will start writing ABCD. He will make n number of mistakes. Then he will learn A, B, and everything. It's okay.
Sure, I'll get there.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Namita ji.
Mama, I have just like a silly question. As you said, like you marry exactly your masculine energy as in your father. My husband and my father are totally different personalities.
Yeah.
So that happens too.
Yes.
Then,
Either you are coming with the same person or you are coming with the opposite person. That's how you are updating yourself, right?
okay.
Your
Yeah,
father could be this also. A particular expression he has already expressed in his entire life, and that is how your masculine has grown. Somewhere maybe you had your own individuality, you wanted a particular, so the change has happened. So a different personality with the different attributes have come. Okay, with the difference, this is how my masculine looks like. Without any differences, without any change, my masculine would be just like my father, how it is. But with the changes, this would be the appreciation, presentation. End of the day, am I being pleasurable or not? Am I gelling well or not? If I'm not gelling well, then I need to work somewhere still. If I'm gelling well, fair enough.
no, I doesn't understand very clearly the masculine and female energy. My female energy is what he wants in his mother. And I think I'm totally opposite as well.
Why you both are together? Because the frequency is matched so much. Why the frequency is matched? Because the frequencies hold an intelligence towards upgradation are similar. If I'm longing for love, okay, I'm coming from the background of wanting love and longing for love. If my partner is coming from complete family where there was only love and nothing else, and I'm coming from a background, I have anything else other than love. Why we both are coming together? Because this is how I bring a balance.
That's
Right.
Dan, because he's such a stubborn person. He break me on so many things. And then Shivani ji, can I tell something, Shivani ji? You know the question you were asking before, ma'am? I have a similar issue what she said. Doing something and expecting and then approval and expectations there. Now what I do is when I start doing any work for anyone, I ask myself, why I'm doing is for love or expectation that somebody will come home and say that, oh, you did such an amazing job. But if I say that I'm expecting my daughters to come and husband to come and say this, I don't do it. If I do this because out of love, just want to do it for them without an expectation, then I do it. So it means then it clears out. I don't fight now anymore. Oh, you come home and you clean your whole room and you didn't even say anything because I didn't do that for. I just did because I want to do it.
Actually, that day my husband only give me the answer, and he only said it's like, when I do things, I think it's my responsibility, and I do not expect people to come and tell me. And that did make a difference. And I was thinking how good, he's so clear in that, and he doesn't have that issue that I have.
But it's okay. Sometimes husband and wife can get into appreciating each other. It bonds the relationship much closer. So sometimes you can go ahead with that statement. Sometimes self pep, something is there, where you are patting
Actually, ma'am, this I have started with my kids. Whenever they tell Mama, we have done this good in this class, I especially make them tap on their shoulders and say, I love myself, Ash. I'm good. I'm so good. You're so awesome. You're showing good job. So that, they start
that
loving
is you are
themselves.
sowing as a mother with all your compassion and wisdom, you are sowing seeds in your children. That is okay. I'm talking about this partnership. It is okay. Sometimes you can just appreciate me just for the sake of I want it.
I actually say it, ma'am. So what I think is
why? Yeah. Oh, sorry, Sneha. You can continue.
So what I think of expectation is a thought of somebody else which you cannot control. because you're expecting that person to say something which is in your mind. How does it even work? I dealt with this, and then I was like, you're expecting something, then say the damn thing to me and I will repeat it. That's how I break this rule of expectation to anyone within like my in-laws, my sister-in-law. My husband never expected anything, which is very great. I did, and then what I used to say is like, how does it look? So when he comes down and I ask him, like, how does it look? It's like, okay, this is good. So if I want him to say something, I don't eat. I don't expect him to eat and say, "Wow, this is nice." I say, like, "How does it taste? Does it look good? Does it need anything else?" He gives me positive response most of the time because I just communicate with him. That itself takes my stress level because I'm just asking the person, like, what do you think? I'm not expecting them to say, like, oh my God, because if they want to say, oh my God, they will say it after you asking it. It doesn't matter. So that is something I've incorporated. I know we can say like, oh, wow, kind of thing. But then I just simply ask. I felt like it's communication at the end of the day, which makes you happy instead of putting the pressure on them and yourself that they should say this. Oh, see, they didn't say this. I'm like, I left that.
Ma'am, can I ask?
One of my recent thing, myself and my husband, we both went for a shopping, and I liked the dress very nice. So it was very nice, and I said, "So, this is good. You think this is good?" He said, "No, I don't think that it should be good." Okay, then I'm packing it. So then he looked at something else and he said, "I think this should be good." I'm not thinking so. I put it. So I started doing opposite. I said, when you want to do what you want to do, why the hell you are asking me? Just like that.
My husband,
I'm
ma'am,
feeling
it's
good.
like I always dress up and I'll ask, you never say that I'm looking good or something. And he just finished the topic one day. He said, I will tell you when you're not looking good. You're always looking. I said, this is, cool way to get rid of the things. You don't even have to.
No. It's not getting rid of it. It is like, they like us as a person, and they don't have to, they think that, I don't have to tell every day and every moment that I love you. It is understood.
Yes.
I'm there. It is
Yes.
understood. If you
Yes.
are doing something for me, it is understood because you love me. So we don't
Yeah.
have to, like a small children, we don't like 16-year-old, we don't have to tell every moment that yes, I love you, you're excellent, you're this.
Yep.
Sometimes,
Yep.
we need to become like that poo of Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That personality should be there all the time.
Yep.
Ma'am, then question is, why I find like all these conversation, why always the expectations and all these things happening with the women, and where the men are very clear in their thought process. They don't.
It's nothing like that. Even men have many expectations.
But I hardly see like all.
But then we women
like
are
even
very clever enough to be very honest. We don't allow them to be expecting from us something else, because before they say, why didn't you do this, we have 10 things on their heads to throw on. You also didn't do this. So they are worried about that thing, so they stop everything. They said, okay, immediately they are grounded and they say, I'm not expecting. I'm very
the
clear.
thing is the same thing, because I think like when my husband's getting ready, he look into himself and he never expect me to say, oh, you're looking smart or whatever. He look in the mirror and he knows what he's looking. Where we as a woman always look, oh, maybe, my curves will
We
come.
women are very tough to handle. We have to accept it. If one moment, if we say our husbands, you are looking good, next time they know, I'll have to be careful. Next 10 times I have to tell her you are good. It is understood, because we are going to ask them, I have always told you that you are excellent. Why are you doing? You are not, giving any appreciation to me. This is there with us.
Women
That's
are
how
more
women
expressive,
are
I
very
think, as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Men have their expectations, but then it's okay. Because many times 85% we women don't allow them to jump into their expectations, And sometimes like they immediately get into their clarity. It's fine. But there are many other things which are running in their mind. Like for us, it's only one thing. So we are there only. They are with many
My
things.
husband said this million times to me. You always focus on one thing. I have 100 things in my mind. Yes, this is right.
When we come to the point of handling 100 things, we are also least interested. We are also least interested. If anyone is expecting, not expecting, we don't have much time.
Yeah.
That's it.
So the
Ma'am, this has
is
nothing
keep
to do with the
introspecting
question.
yourself. Keep correcting yourself. Keep looking into what you're expecting, what you're not expecting, and why.
Yes, always look into what is empowering to you and what thought is disempowering to you. Which thought and which emotion is leading you to pleasurable moments, which thought and emotion is leading you to painful moment. At that moment, maybe it is very pleasure, but end of the day, it is leading to painful. So just be aware of that and move on.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Ma'am, the movie you said is Notting Hill.
Yes, Notting Hill. Yeah.
I watched it twice because the way she delivered every single word is so subtle, yet saying that, please, just be yourself, be with you. I'm not interested. I'm least bothered, like to every single thing. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, you can say it politely, but tell them that, you're least interested.
Even the
to
old
them,
movies, the classic movies, English classic movies, even those are very well presented. The vocabulary used is perfect. We need to literally, take them. It's very nice. Yeah. Okay, tomorrow we'll be doing family constellations. Getting ready for the inner child work. So tomorrow will be the family constellation.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
See you all tomorrow
Thank you, ma'am.
9.
Thank you.
Please, Master, try to be at 9 so we can start session earlier.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
all.
you.
ma'am.
Bye.
Thank
See
you.
you all.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Masters, can you stay in the session for some time? Already left.